creation and regulation of business entities. The most common forms of business entity are companies and partnerships. A company is a group of people which is treated as a legal person with a separate identity from its shareholding members. It can own property, enter into contracts, sue others, and be sued. This contrasts with a partnership, which is not considered to be a legal person and isn't able to own property in its own name. Because of a limited liability of the members of a company for its debts, as well as its separate personality and tax treatment, the company has become the most popular form of business entity in most countries in the world. Companies have an inherent flexibility which can let them grow. There is no legal reason why a company initially formed by sole proprietor cannot eventually grow to be a publicly listed company, but a partnership will generally have a limited number of partners. A company has shareholders, those who invest money in it and get shares in return. A board of directors, people who manage the affairs of a company, and creditors, those to whom the company owes money. Company law deals with relationships between companies and their shareholders, creditors, regulators, and third parties. The process of registering a company is known as company formation. Companies can be created by individuals, specialized agents, attorneys, or accountants. Today, the majority of companies formed in the UK and the USA are formed electronically. In the UK, a certificate of incorporation is issued once the company's constitutional documents and statutory forms have been filed. The constitution of a company consists of two documents. The Memorandum of Association states the principal objects of the company. The second document, the Articles of Association, regulate the company's internal management and administrative affairs, including matters such as the rights and obligations of shareholders and directors, conduct of meetings, and corporate contracts. Commercial law. Commercial law deals with issues of both private law and public law. It developed as a distinct body of jurisprudence with the beginning of large-scale trade, and many of its rules are derived from the practices of traders. Specific law has developed in a number of commercial fields, including agency, banking, bankruptcy, carried of goods, commercial dispute resolution, company law, competition law, contract data and creditor, sale of goods and services, intellectual property, landlord and tenant, mercantile agency, mortgages, negotiable instruments, secured transaction, real property and tax law. The work of a commercial lawyer may involve any aspect of the law as it relates to a firm's business clients, and the role of a lawyer is to facilitate business clients' commercial transactions. It is essential for a commercial lawyer to have not only good knowledge of a lot of substantive law, but also through understanding of both contemporary business practice and the particular business needs to each client. A commercial lawyer may be asked to advise a client on matters relating to both non-contentious and contentious work. Non-contentious work largely involves advising clients on the drafting of contracts, whereas contentious work commonly involves the consequences of breach of contracts. Many jurisdictions have adopted civil codes that contain comprehensive statements of their commercial law. For example, the Uniform Commercial Code, which has been generally adopted throughout the USA. Within the European Union, the European Parliament and the legislatures of member nations are working to unify their various commercial codes. A substantial amount of commercial law is governed by international treaties and conventions. The United Nations Commission on International Trade Law regulates international trade in cooperation with World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization is responsible for negotiating and implementing new trade agreements and is in charge of policing member countries' adherence to these agreements, which are signed by the majority of the world's trading nations and ratified by their legislatures. For example, Parliament in the UK, Congress in the USA.